button. Shim shiminy, shim 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 sharoo. I've got a shim in my pocket. How about you?
He carries that around all the time.
I
Makes
sat
that
down
joke
and I was
6
like,
to 7 times a day.
something's jabbing me in my buns area. What is it? Oh, it's a shim.
Yes.
How delightful. What's up, Internet? It's Friday. How you doing, everybody?
It's about time.
How's everybody doing? It's about time? It's about time on a Friday?
Yeah, it's about 4.
It's about 4 p.m.
Oh.
Pacific Standard Time. How's everybody doing? Glad to be here. Forgot to put in the 3-2-1 thing into the chat, so I bet people are here and they're going like, "What, man? What? What's happening? Is it live?"
Jimmy has an industrial-sized thing of Frosty Nerds at his desk.
Frostiferous nerds. Sounds delightful.
I think that he lives off this.
Are they good? How are they? We got a comprehensive review and unboxing of the Frosty Nerds.
Well, the flavors are watermelon, cherry, and punch.
Oh, that sounds
Luckily,
like garbage.
there's no artificial flavors in here.
Oh! Only...
Flavor with other natural flavors. It literally says that.
Yes, there's a Corey in the show today. If you haven't noticed, we are here at the Aquarium Co-op Fish Room. Fish
Wouldn't
room?
buy
Is
'em.
this the fish room? What do you call this? The compound? The
Currently, I call this the studio.
studio. Oh, okay. This
We're
is the
building a new
studio.
studio, and that's kind of a thing. Like, what are we going to call this? And that's studio.
That's the studio. And
Do we
this
just go to, like, Studio 1, Studio 2?
It's the Foodio
we-
and the studio.
Foodie.
and
Yeah, we eat over there, and we studio over here.
The Fruitio. The Tunio. It's the Tunio.
Maybe it's like business in the front, party in the back. Like, maybe this
Oh.
will be the
Like the
mullet.
Kentucky Waterfall.
mullet studio.
Yeah, Kentucky Waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here on a Friday. If you don't know, this is our show for Friday. Hot and loose, no topic. We'll just be answering questions. The Friday style show is often answering questions from the live chat here.
Or completely ignoring them.
What's that?
Or completely ignoring them.
Or just
we
completely
get off on a
ignoring them and
tangent.
talking about candy.
Yeah, not a fan of that candy.
Not a fan of that? Wasn't good?
I mean,
You give it...
if I was on a desert island,
Would you give it a 3 out of 28?
Yes.
Okay. Delicious.
It wasn't. I mean, things that are worse than that would be like a Tootsie Pop that got too hot that's melted to the package. That's how you go below a 3.
Oh, there you
When you get a sucker or something, you're like, I have to eat paper to enjoy this at this point. It's either throw it away or eat a little bit of paper.
go. Here, eat this shim.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
It's on the same level.
It's full, robust flavor.
I only eat shims that haven't been touching your buttocks.
Full body. Full-bodied, robust. As you can see, the grain runs parallel, which probably makes it
I'm
more...
sure there's an artist that only works with shims.
it makes
and
it
then,
more
like,
gooder.
Yeah.
Is there an artist that works only with shims exclusively?
There has to be. There has to be like a woodworking artist. Like, I start everything from a shim and then I just polish it and sand
One
it
polished
and
shim.
stain it.
Oh, I have to tell you. I was going to tell you about this earlier, but I didn't tell you because I forgot.
All right.
But I did watch a video yesterday of the world's largest wood lathe last night when I was going to bed. So you know what a wood lathe is, right? It's how you make big poles.
Yes,
Table
but
legs.
you said my video.
What?
You said I watched your video.
No, I watched a video.
Okay, I was like,
I watched
like,
your
what in the
video
yesterday
about the
was-
world's biggest lathe. Wait. Where is it?
I don't know.
If you've been making videos about the world's biggest lathe, where is it?
That's what I'm
Is it around
wondering.
here?
Yeah.
No, I actually, I don't know whose channel it was. It was just a kind of random video that popped up. I was watching it. And they had like an 18-foot log on there that they were like turning into one big, long, perfect pole.
Is it just for like ultra rich, like people on MTV Cribs? Here's my banister. 'Cause
I think
got
it's like
18 feet
it's either
of-
for like ultra rich people or
Yeah.
like just ultra hillbillies that are like, yeah, I built my own banister. What up? It's one piece, bruh.
Yeah.
How you doing? Kentucky Waterfall for days. You know, party in the front, party in the back. Wait, how does that go? Business? World's largest lathe in the front, party in the back. Is that? I don't know. I don't really know how
That'd
that
work. Jiminy.
Speaking about candy,
That is.
Oh.
That does look like about 25 pounds.
this is a
No,
giant.
this is one of the bags.
That's one
That's
of the
one
bags.
of the
oh,
bags.
Is that,
Yours. It's labeled Vicky and Joel.
Let me see here.
how many? Oh, I love how it looks like you're both struggling on that.
It's a brick. One brick of candy.
Does it say that?
No, it says
Oh.
bag of mostly pineapple bears.
Oh.
It's from Turbofish.
Who was saying the pineapple was fair? Was it Vicky or you that loved the pineapple?
Vicky loves the pineapple.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the most terrible.
Someone. That's what I thought too, but I like the fact that
Did you say that's the most terrible flavor?
yes.
I like the green ones.
The green ones?
Oh,
but what
yeah.
flavor are the green ones? You have to
Probably
be
apple.
you have to be specific on what type
Hopefully
of
it's
bears
apple.
that you're talking about. Because if you're talking about Haribo bears,
Hello.
the green ones are strawberry.
What?
Yeah, the green ones are strawberry flavored. I know a thing or two about gummy bears. You guess?
Kick it up a notch.
I just love them. They're just so delicious.
Yeah.
Got
All
a
right.
Giant bag of
Someone
gummy
was
bears over here.
asking on a 20 long, is a Phoenix good enough, or do they got to go Fluval 2.0? And my answer would be no. The Phoenix Stingray plenty good for a 20 long because it's short and low and cheap.
Oh,
It's like the surface of the sun. You put a Fluval 2.0, you would dial it down.
that's
like
a free
80,
plug.
80%.
That's a free plug for
Dang
Phoenix.
Ah.
Hashtag free plug on a Friday for Phoenix. Can
I
you
need
even
one-
believe it?
I need one fan to track every free plug we ever do. So if someone ever comes to us with a business idea, we've given you 3 free plugs.
68 free
Yeah,
plugs
exactly.
to Fluval.
Well,
Fluval,
Phoenix would be like 3 ever. We
yeah,
slipped
Phoenix,
up 3 times
Phoenix
ever.
would be 3.
yeah.
Fluval,
A
I don't
lot.
even know. It's going to be Fluval tripping all
Yeah.
for days.
You would need one of those like counters like on a bus. For the
Oh,
floor.
yeah.
37 on this episode alone.
I mean, between me talking about Stratum and their light, because honestly, those are like my 2 favorite things. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
No, they're good.
of 2017, those are my 2 favorite things. Moving into 2018.
2017. Joel just coddling a bag of stratum underneath the warm glow light of a Fluval 2.0.
And just
At
quietly
50%. Watch it dim as we fade to black.
as we fade to 12%
and
power.
then, ding, moonlight.
Oh, blue.
By the moonlight.
Oh.
Yeah,
There's a giant bag of candy here from
that is a
Turbofish.
giant bag.
It's only just tied with a knot, so I don't think it's safe.
That's right. You need to, for all you know, I'm sure Jimmy had 2 handfuls
I
already.
could eat 4 or 5 pounds of it, and Vicky would still be cool, right? She'd be like, "That's
yes,
that's still
I could
cool."
safely say you could eat 5 pounds of candy, and whoever receives the bag of candy would still be like, "That's a lot of candy."
That's a lot of candy.
Yeah.
You guys, that's a lot.
yeah.
So, wait, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'll have to refrain from eating them during the show because
And
there's
if I,
nothing like
if I
eating
remember
into a
right, is
microphone.
it from Turbofish?
It's from
I didn't see-
Turbofish.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. I didn't see the box, and I was like, "He's in the chat, so thank you."
They're squishy.
Yeah,
They're squishy.
they're like
fresh.
They had a date too. It was like straight off the factory line.
Right here.
Yeah, I think he said he stamped each one with a date just so you knew it was fresh.
Each bear
Yeah, well, that's how he picked out the yellows.
made on 12/14.
All right, 15 days.
2 weeks.
Here's the more important part,
pretty good.
Turbofish. If I was to like meander into a Walmart or just random place that would carry that candy, what is factory to Corey's mouth average time from a normal store?
Yeah, and do they have like a pull date?
Yeah,
You know?
because I mean, I
Because
gotta
they
think
have to have some kind of pull date.
gummy
on 'em.
bears lasts like forever.
Forever.
But
Jinx.
Yeah.
Free plug.
they probably they probably last so long that they can sit in a warehouse. They're like, oh yeah, we just buy it a billion tons at a time, and
Right.
then we stock out. So maybe it's like, oh, normally you'd be tasting 6 months old gummy bear.
6 months old gummy bears.
Yeah, but they last 60 years, so it's no worries. Yeah,
6 years? 8 years? 10 years? Not sure. But hey, before we move on,
before.
as you guys noticed from the title, today is the last live stream of 2017. Did I troll a little bit? I trolled like the very tiniest little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last live stream of this year. Just happens that
I would
the
have known you were
dates
serious. If you put 4 dots
it
after
just happened. Yeah, if I'd be like dot, 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 dot,
4
dot, dot, dot.
dots. I'd be like, oh, I think he's serious.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Is he gonna jump off a cliff? I don't know. So that being said, today is the last day of the year that you will hear me mention the Patreon, DarkstarArts.com, AquariumCoop.com, all of that kind of stuff. Today is the last day. Share this video out, like it, blah blah blah. Do all that crap. And go to the Patreon. We're making a final push for the end of the year.
If you can become a patron
when
now.
I checked this morning, I was up to 220 Patreons, which is amazing.
Yeah.
We hit that 200 mark. Now I have a powerful lust for I don't know. I don't even have a number now because I'm
World
past
dominating.
200. But my current goal is to beat Corey, and
My
I'm not
next
sure.
number, you can
What's
hop on
Corey
the,
at now? We have to find out.
I don't know. You can hop on to my next goal though. My next goal is 500.
Your next goal is 500.
I want 500 people like investing in creators.
Do we even have 500 people watching? What are we at right
no,
now?
but we're gonna.
What
get
are we
there.
at?
113.
113?
Yeah.
Oh, we're short.
Yeah.
We've come up short,
The
you
cool
guys.
thing is, if you become a patron like now, you get to say in like 3 years, like, yeah, I've been a patron since 2017. You get credit for like the entire year, so you can still sneak in right under that.
Oh, that's a good point, because then
Yeah.
you could be like, yeah, I was there.
I was OG.
2017.
OG.
OG.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure Patreon will come out because everything always does where they're like, oh, now people get a little badge that says, I've been supporting since blah, blah, blah.
Right.
You'll have that badge and newbies will be like, dang, that guy's been around since 3 days ago. I just signed up today. Dang it.
Dang it, bruh.
But in like 3 years, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, so we do.
And there's a contest.
Since it's the last day, I gotta say the Patreon. I gotta say hit the like button. Yeah, blah 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 blah.
They
blah.
can still get entered into the contest too because we're not pulling until the new year.
Yeah, yeah. You can still get in on the contest, and Corey and I yesterday were dialing in what the contest prize is, and I will tell you, if you are not gonna be in on that contest drawing, you are gonna kick yourself big time.
Yeah.
You're gonna be going,
We've combined our
oh, I
powers.
messed up.
Speaking of free plug Friday, I'm pretty sure I know the brand of these gummy bears, but I don't want to get Turbofish in trouble. But if you say what it is, I'll say like, yeah, you should go buy these because these gummy bears are really good. But I don't want to be like, oh, dude sent out some gummy bears, now he's in trouble.
What happened?
If Turbofish tells me the brand of gummy bears, I'll then give it the free plug Friday, and we'll sell 2 3-ounce packages of gummy bears from Walmart because of that. But I'm just saying, I mean, may as well. I mean, it's a big to do, and if
Yeah.
you like, why not be like, hey man, this guy's super cool. He, we know these gummy bears were treated fairly and not tested on animals. They were tested on live humans like us.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Tested on live humans. I got a cut.
What'd you do,
I got a cut on one of my bees, man.
man? Wait, do your bees have names?
No. One's the queen bee, though.
How many bees do you have?
One is a queen bee.
Do you know that
You know what?
answer?
I don't know how many I have.
Did you get them all at the same time?
No. No. This
Was
is
it
a-
like outlines like 5 bees, and then you do another 5 bees, or was it like each one was a bee?
It was like a couple at a time or something. This has always been like the whenever I have a tattooer buddy that's like, I got to tattoo you something on you, bro. I'd
And
be
you're
like,
like, sweet, another
do
bee.
some more bee stuff.
Can you
Yeah.
tell the difference between the different artists and the different bees, really?
Yeah, my buddy Ramshackle actually ran over a bunch of it.
Uh-huh.
So it does kind of have cohesion now or whatever,
I
so it looks
see.
more like one person did it.
Yeah.
But most of those guys are pretty good at emulating other style or whatever,
I just noticed, do you not do any color?
Yeah,
Is
there's
there-
color in
Is
that.
there color?
There's yellow in this.
Oh, okay.
There's like on my leg here, like that's all.
Oh, I'm getting the behind the scenes. I don't think you guys have seen
Yeah.
most of these.
I have lots of tattoos, but
Yeah.
you can't see most of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
Uh,
I know him. Yeah.
I have to wear my short pants and then no shirts, and people will see lots of tattoos.
Oh,
my god!
Yes.
Let's see. Dank Tanks was asking about Removing scratches from a glass tank.
Brutal.
Is it possible? Yes.
Yes.
Is it worth it? Absolutely not.
I would say it's in line with playing the lottery.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like one of those things where you're like, you could either damage the glass, first of all. It's extremely caustic, too, so you could poison yourself pretty readily. You have to have a respirator that can handle all chemical and organic, because you can't breathe that stuff in.
Can I get some of those gummy bears, Jimmy?
And then,
No, what are the other ones?
and it would cost more than just going to $1 per gallon sale to get all
That's
of the
the big
stuff.
thing. Like if it was the 800 gallon, it was glass, and I messed it up. There's at least worth talking about. Yeah, should we try and buff this out as
Yeah, should
opposed
we-
to like building another one and moving this thing in and out?
Right.
Like that becomes. Is it more of a hassle to lift 1,000-pound tank or try and buff it? But when if it's like
or
55,
just a bunch of pieces of
Right.
1,000 pounds worth of glass.
Whereas at 55, you're like, you can go to Petco. You could be back in 45 minutes.
Right.
Whereas buying all that stuff and trying to buff it out with what is it, ferrous oxide? Mm-hmm. Trying to do that, you're
I
like,
think it's ferrous oxide.
yeah, I think it could be something slightly.
could be something else, but
Someone
yeah.
knows. Google knows.
There's a lot of people tripping
Yeah.
recently.
But I guarantee this,
during your live cast. It's not
actually
ferrous oxide. It's actually
some other oxide. I know it's an oxide.
I
But
didn't even have
anyway,
anything good.
It would take you longer to track the stuff down to order online. Then you got to wait 7 days because I can't imagine that stuff sitting on Amazon to like overnight to you. Then you're gonna get it, and your wife's gonna be yelling at you just because you're like, "What is that sound? I'm trying to watch something. I'm trying to waste an extra $70 here, dear."
Right, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
come on,
you're gonna end
babe,
up going to
get
buy
on
the
board.
tank anyway. And so you could. This is what you do. You got a 55-gallon tank. It's all scratched up. You go, dang it. So then you give that to someone who doesn't own a fish tank yet. You get them into the hobby and you buy yourself a 55-gallon, and then you're happy and they're happy.
Well, and here's the thing, like, so like Vicky's 75 is scratched a bit. Like it does have some scratches in it for sure, like that you can see.
Yeah,
What is that?
it's something I've never seen before.
What is that?
This right here is a Gatorade Prime Energy Chew.
Oh, those
I
are
think
disgusting.
it's like a super
Those are
gummy bear.
disgusting.
Are
There's
they?
like a big old pack of them. I'll try it with you.
Here's
no,
the thing.
They're like,
They taste
All right.
good. They taste good,
yeah.
but I can't. Dude.
Is
Okay,
it like, is it
so
like
Vicky got some of
is
those
it
for a
gel
hike.
version of
Vicky got some of
blue
those.
Gatorade?
Vicky got some of those for a hike that we went on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're fine for her. Like she eats them. I tried it on 2 different occasions. I've got.
What's wrong with them?
I'm about to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you the story, but you're already eating it. So if
Explosive
Corey does
diarrhea, like,
if-
oh no,
Yes.
why didn't you tell me sooner?
yeah,
Oh no.
yeah. So first I got nauseous and I felt kind of like maybe I had some kind of diabetes or something going on, and then I had wicked diarrhea after that.
Oh, good.
So it was pretty good. Yeah, and hiking, so that's it's definitely a good spot to have a situation like that on your hands out in the woods. It's definitely
It
helpful.
tastes good.
Um,
It does taste like you're drinking Gatorade though.
Yeah. But what I was talking about was so the scratch glass. Vicky actually has a scratched. Her 75 has a bunch of scratches in it. It does work well. You can notice the scratches and stuff like that. But realistically, if we were going to replace that 75 with another 75, I would just wait for the $1 a gallon sale, get that half off, and
Which
just go
I
buy another one.
heard. I heard through the grapevine that PetSmart is doing battle with Petco, so all their tanks are 50% off.
Yes, anything above whatever.
Well, all of
55
their
or
all of
something.
their tanks are just 50% off. So
Oh.
like on a 20, you're going, hey, it's more expensive. But on their 75, someone was saying they're like $89.99.
That's not bad at all.
And I can tell you this: I ordered a 75 for over in that room. My cost is $190 when they're not on like crazy sale like that. So I'm pretty much sitting here going, I've been bamboozled.
Could have got 2.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there also was the point that you didn't know if they were going to be
Oh, I had no
tempered glass
idea.
or not.
And we needed to get them in and keep working. We couldn't just sit around and just be like, Well, we're waiting for a sale. It might take 8 months.
Hey, man, sales
people will
There'll
wait.
be a sale.
Yeah.
So,
Just tell Patreon, like, sorry guys, we're
Look.
waiting to save an extra $100.
Just throw those fish on the ground.
Yeah.
There'll be a sale at some point in time, and we'll figure it out then. Right? Is that how that goes?
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like a good idea. I think what we did was probably the right idea.
Wait. These gummy bears have juice in them.
So Turbo Fish was saying factory to Corey's mouth is typically 120 days. Most average 60 days. Me, pack center, distribution center times 4, usually lasting 30 to 90 days your store. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Gummy bear life cycle.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, so these are pretty fresh. This is about
So
as
yes,
fresh as
these
they get.
are the Black Forest with the juicy centers. I've never had the juicy center. I was going to say these are the freshest gummy bears I've ever eaten.
Because
And then
they're
I saw
wet.
like, oh yeah, because they have liquid in them.
Because they're wet. Mm-hmm. These are the freshest wet gummy bears.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even think they're done cooking yet. Like they're still liquid.
They haven't even set up yet.
No, but I've eaten way more of these Black Forest gummy bears than any other lately. Mostly because I've been getting them from you. And my wife loves gummy bears. I burned out on them when I was a kid. We used to get, my grandma would always buy everyone a 5-pound thing of gummy bears from Costco.
Why is everybody saying Ramshackle in the chat? That's my old buddy Ramshackle. He does tattoos. If you want to see
I don't
him,
know.
you find him in the University District of Seattle.
Is that something I need to know about? Like, is Ramshackle famous for something else? Like,
He's a tattooer.
well, right, but I'm saying like, does that mean like, so like a cartoon?
He's an
where they're like,
enigma.
oh, Ramshackle.
He's an enigma shrouded in mystery, right? Well, he's just
Well,
he used to
sour
be on
apple.
my channel all the time.
Oh, okay.
We were always being all crazy. But
I
he
tried to block that time of your life out of my mind. Actually, I didn't watch you.
Well, he ended up moving elsewhere and wanted to live by himself, so we stopped living together.
Wait, Scooby Doo snacks? I don't know.
Scooby Dooby snacks. All right, what do we got? So we got some super chats here. I don't know what the SEK is. I know that we've been over this a whole bunch
Aren't
of
they
times.
Sweden krones?
Swedish krones, I think.
There's
right?
an E in there, but I'm pretty sure it's silent, so that's why it's Swedish krones.
Swedish
That's the logic.
European krones.
There you go.
Yeah. With the 100 SEK, I don't know. I'm a terrible bank because I have no idea how much that is, but
I'm gonna
awesome.
Pretend, I'm gonna pretend it's $7.
It came up yellow, so that's cool, right?
That's in the $10 range, right?
Yeah. Love what you guys are doing. You both have teached me a lot about the hobby, and my roommate just got his first aquarium on sale. I recommended he watch you
Nice.
both, which he has done a lot. From Mike. Well, thank you
you,
very
Mike.
much, Mike. That's not a question, though.
No.
Dag nabbit. But nevertheless, that's also awesome. So thank you very much. And DJ Pride with the $2 super chat of loving the show. Well, I love DJ Pride. I love that avatar. And yeah, at some point in time, we're going to have to go hear some funky, fresh beats, right?
Yeah.
54 Punchy says, I never win anything. If there were 2 people in the drawing, I would lose. Well, there are going to be 4 winners.
4 winners, 2 from each patron. If you're patronizing both of us, double the odds, really.
That's double the odds.
Double the trouble.
And if you're not on the Patreon, if you're not a patronizer of either of us, I'd say either Corey or me or whatever, I would get in on it because when you find out what that prize is, y'all's gonna be tripping.
And you get entered into my like $1,000 gift cardy type of thingy
Yeah,
as well.
that
Both of us.
also.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like there's 2 times 2 contests. It's
2
almost
times
like
2
4
times 2.
contests, kind of.
There's a whole bunch.
It's not 2 cubed, but it's close.
Yeah,
It's 2 squared.
2 squared.
Yeah.
T squared. 2 squared.
T square. We've been using the T square. When
Dang Tank says we clickbaited so many. Andrew L says Joel and Corey retiring from streaming for the rest of the year.
That's not true. I got
Not true because Corey's doing one tomorrow.
I stream like 2 times a day every day. I swear.
Today's my last one. We'll be back. Oh, so just as a point of business, want people to know that if everyone is super duper 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 something something something, then we might do a stream on Monday the 1st.
It will be from the new studio.
We do have an
The
excursion.
new studio.
We do have an excursion that we're going on Monday. We're going to go get some documentation of the mountains and the mountainsides of the western Washington. And we're going to be running around up in the hills and stuff. So we're going to be out there for the New Year's doing hikes and stuff. So very doubtful that we'll kick off the new year with a stream on the new year. But maybe if I get over the 500 Patreons, then maybe if Corey and I get over 500 Patreons, then we'd be like,
Combined, maybe.
oh, we got to do a new year. Because there's just so many new Patreonizers that we got to be hollering at.
If
We
we
got
get,
to
if we
holla,
get,
holla, 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 holla.
if we get reception, it might be possible.
We might be able to do it from up there, but
Maybe.
I doubt it.
It's not like I went there and tested today before. You know, like
Don't
hold
do
on,
that.
before we promise it. You know,
That's a huge waste of time.
let me waste 9 hours and see.
I am just hoping that the what's that called? Blueberry?
Snow?
Blueberry. I hope that the Blueberry ice cream place is open.
Oh, I never went there.
Oh man,
I feel like you told me about it,
it's delightful.
and we didn't stop because I was like, it's cold and snowing.
It doesn't matter if it's there and it's open. We're gonna go. You can get hot cocoa
I'm pretty
and
sure.
stuff too.
Did I see
if
on
they're
the? Was there like a giant sign that says like best blueberry milkshake or something like that?
Probably.
Yeah, I might have seen it. I didn't stop, but I might have seen it. I think Katie was like, "I love blueberries," and I'm like, "Gotta get home."
If we drive past that place and we don't stop,
I might not come back
there
alive.
might be a paddling.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Somebody might get a paddling.
Luckily, we got enough candy in case we get trapped in the van.
Right, we get this giant bag. This is a big bag of candy.
It's
And
your
this
job.
is apparently only one of them.
It's
is
your
what-
job to polish that off in like a week.
I won't be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'll try. I mean, I could just feed it to the chickens. They'll go bananas for it.
How bad is it for a chicken? Because I feel like I want to see a chicken chase a gummy bear.
I could throw some in there. I wouldn't throw the whole bag in there, but you could throw some in.
Obviously.
You could throw some in there. That'd be fine.
I think that deserves a video.
Vicky's dad feeds his chickens donuts.
Somehow donuts don't seem as bad as gummy bears.
He's like old donuts from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
He basically he trades
Eggs.
he trades eggs to the guy who runs the 7-Eleven for all of the day old stuff. He just throws all the day old
yeah,
stuff
that's a rad trade.
because it's like they're either going to throw it in the compost or whatever,
Or
he
let the
feeds it to
chickens make more eggs out of it.
Right.
Yeah, it's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
But you got to make sure that you get a little fiber in there for those little buddies, because they'll, like we talked about earlier. Here's the second time we're going to talk about diarrhea. You know. So.
Yep. Yes, Corey is hiking too. And by hiking, let's be real, we're driving into the wilderness so that we can all frolic in snow. That's how little snow we get. We're going to seek the snow.
I'm going up to the mountains.
Yeah, we're going to the mountains. There is some hiking, but I'm not going to say I'm going to hike like a mile. But when the snow is like 3 or 4 feet deep and you just see the fat man like, I'm kind of stuck. Like,
Well,
yeah,
we're not
that's
sure
my
what
equivalent of hiking.
the conditions are, but I do know that my mom came over the mountain last night and was going, "Oh, it's snowing like crazy." So, but you never really know what the conditions are going to be like on Monday, where we're going.
I just drive until it's like, it seems dangerous.
We'll
we should
see.
get over and play in the snow now.
We'll see if we can get a
little, as I like to call,
We'll see if we can get a hike in. We'll see if we can get a hike in. I'm not sure everybody that's going to be there is going to want to hike that far.
wife
and we
cannot
might
hike.
we might be in a spot where we might need snowshoes to really do anything
Yep.
of any kind of note. But I do know that where we're headed to, there's a 7.2 mile in and out that Vicky and I have done before, but not in the snow.
I know this. My wife, not down, chronic pain. Yeah.
But we'll have fun. It'll be fun.
Well, and we can send you ahead with Jimmy as
Right.
a pack mule, and we can just like hang out in the snow and sled. That's what I'm trying to do, is sled, and then eat stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then mostly it's a reason for me to drive in the snow. I love to drive in the snow in the left lane. That's right, triggered.
Right. Oh, here's a good question from Lisa C. Oh, and there was a bunch of chat in here about Danielle. Where'd I go? Danielle Charles is dyeing her hair. Oh, it's a lot of talk about hair dye and that kind of stuff.
I done it.
Always remember to go to the beauty supply if you need your hair dye stuff.
Of course.
That's where you want to go.
Yeah.
That's where you want to be at.
They always looked at me weird if I was buying pink or something.
But we do have a good question here of from Lisa C saying, can feeding live mosquito larvae give fish parasites? If so, can I deworm larvae? I've got a beta with dropsy, and the only recent change was feeding live larvae once a week for a few months. Okay. Long question. I'm going to answer the end of the question right there. Was the only recent change was feeding live larvae for a few months. A few months isn't necessarily like recent in the life of a fish. I mean, if it's been, just the last like 4 months, it's like 120 days. You start to kind of add that up, and you go like, oh, okay, that's actually a pretty long time period for a beta. That's like a year, and maybe 2 years in like
dog
human
years. It's like 17 months.
Right. Yeah. I guess just in like human terms, that could be a fairly long time. A parasite could easily get that. It could easily have gotten there in their no time at all.
Mm-hmm.
Feeding live mosquito larvae to your beta, that is honestly the best food that you can feed to your beta.
And while contamination of parasite is there, I feel like it is wicked low.
It's incredibly low.
Just because the life cycle of a mosquito larva is so quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then my question would be like, well, how did the parasites get into that water where the mosquitoes are being laid? Like, if you just have a cesspool of like parasites, sure. But if it was like a bucket or something you set up, the odds of an aquatic parasite making its way in there is pretty dang low.
Right. Yeah, it really wouldn't be.
Can't say it wouldn't happen, but odds are maybe it's just a dietary change. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They love and they should be eating that.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, that's really the food that they should be eating. My guess would be, honestly, like my biggest guess at this point in time, if you do have dropsy or some kind of parasite with your beta, it sounds like you've really been taking care of this beta properly. It could be just old age. That does happen sometimes.
That happens. Oftentimes
when we get the males, like if you bought them somewhere, you have to remember like the life cycle of that male. They're fairly old by the time they get to the United States, because they raise them and then they breed them.
Yeah, in America's bigger is better, easier to sell.
Right,
So,
they breed them,
raise them up.
Right, they breed them, and then they send them overseas, and then however long that period could have been, you could get this beta and it's already like 3 years old or something.
The thing I run
and then you're
into-
like, I only had him for like a year and a half, and he just died.
Yeah.
You're like, well, that's 4.5 years. It's,
From a store's perspective, what we run into a lot is, I haven't changed anything, or like that thing going for 4 months isn't really a change. It's kind of been like, oh, that was a change pretty far ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what does change on a lot of people is the temperature of their betta tank,
right.
because they're either not heating it or running a heater in a smaller aquarium, and even there you're going like, well, it's only 65 in my house and I have a heater in it, it's fine all summer. It's like, well, yeah, but the water temp might be 67 and you're feeding all this high protein food. It might not be as active and just getting fat, eating too many snacks over Christmas, or B, it might actually be getting constipated because it can't move that high protein load, or C, something completely unrelated to anything we've talked about so far, because
Right.
we're not looking at the fish and it can't tell us, man, I got gas.
I got gas, bro.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, as everybody always says, it's like if you have beta with a dropsy, add some salt. Try to treat for fungal bacteria, that kind of stuff. Feed him. Try to see if he'll eat some. This is one trick that I would try from time to time, and
Stale
sometimes
old donuts.
would get success. No, I would hard boil an egg, eat the white, and save a little bit of the yolk, not very much, and I would peel a pea, right? So you just kind of squeeze it and pop out the inside of the
Alright.
pea, and then mash that together into a little bit of a paste, and then drop some little bits in there. Try to feed him that. If he does have, typically if a beta has like a blockage or something like that, they get all like scaled out and look like they have dropsy, and it's like oftentimes it's just because they're poop bound basically,
Yep.
and they ain't got a lot of distance between the mouth and the exit hole, right?
Yep.
The out. And so sometimes like the pea and the yolk, that can kind of help, like kind of motivate that a little bit with a little bit of fiber or something like that. But once they get full, like scaled out like that, even myself, I had bad luck trying to get them back from it. So it really does kind of suck and it's kind of sad, but
Yeah. It's
and Lisa C says it's an outdoor tub. I was breeding fish in the summer with ram's horns and an air stone.
even
You
then,
know-
I still feel like the odds are low that it's parasitic. I mean, the easiest way to rule it out: run a little bit of general cure through there, and if he fixes up, hey, you know. But if he doesn't, then you know, yep, it's probably just, I got to go poop.
Right.
And then you do everything you can, like Epsom salt, raise temperature, try some antibacterial. Like, you just keep trying different things. Like, let me help you go to the bathroom, kind of. Hopefully one of the steps works. Or his kidney gave out and he's like just going to die and there's nothing to do anyway. Like, there's
Right.
that option too of like, oh, there was nothing I was going to be able to do at all.
Yeah, Lisa
Dang
C
it.
says he's actually kind of skinny, not bloated, but very clear, lifted scales.
That sounds more and more like a organ failure or like old man syndrome.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah,
Which
you're old
sucks.
and not healthy.
I don't know. That's one of those things that like. It's one of the reasons I don't really have betas anymore because they have like so much personality. I get really attached to them, and I would never come out to a tank and like one of them just be dead, right?
Yeah, it's a slow,
Like-
agonizing downfall.
Yeah, it's like, oh, come on, man, pull through, and it's like, I spent 6 days trying to get this guy, and then he died, and then then I'm all sad.
Yeah.
It's like a, I don't know. One of my sail fin tangs just, whoop.
There it is.
He was doing fine, and the sail fin tanks have been battling a bit in my reef tank, and one is definitely
There can only be one.
started becoming dominant over the other one, and I was doing my best to
Mitigate the situation.
mitigate it by feeding other sides and stuff and making sure the other one was eating and stuff. And then one day, instead of swimming like this, he was swimming face down, and I was like, oh, no.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Like, what is going on? So I'm like, try to feed him, try to turn him around, try to see what happened. And then next morning I come, and this was like, I got home from like here. So I got home at like,
Oh, this is real
So it was like
recent
10
then.
o'clock.
This is real recent then.
it was just the other day.
Yeah, okay.
That's
That's why the tears were so real.
I mean, talk about it.
Yeah.
Sad. But then, like, by the time, like 6 hours had gone by when I went to bed, got up, came back out, and was like, oh, he's dead now. Well,
Lame.
whoops. Poop.
I'm almost excited when that happens because it's like, at least I don't have to watch you be a head down guy for like 3 months while nothing actually helps
Yeah,
you.
well, I was, like, freaking out trying to treat him. So, yeah, I guess it's the upside to it. But
So Manny called his local pet store, local Petco, and they have the $1 sale, and they got 375s. He has them on hold. And word on the street is you're going to need to watch that dehumidifier video now because adding 375s, you just made a fish room, buddy.
Yep. Yeah. Now you got a fish room.
Yeah.
So you should probably watch that dehumidifier video because we hit the all-time record for dislikes yesterday.
Most hate ever.
Most hate ever on a quick turnaround. I of course have some videos that have
Yeah, give it some
hundreds
time.
of
Give it some
dislikes.
time.
But in one day we got over 10. We got into double digits in one
Yeah.
day of the dislike smashing.
Here's a
So-
good question that I can ask because.
But I was wondering what because here's the thing, so if people hit the dislike button,
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of a cop out because I don't get any feedback. You know what I mean? Like if people hit the like button, then you're like, oh cool, you liked it. All right.
Yeah.
But then, like, if you hit the dislike button, it's like, oh man, what did you not like? But then there's just no feedback.
I'm
Like,
okay with the no
Certain
feedback.
people that are like, hey, you look like an idiot, or
Yeah.
blah blah
I get
blah,
that a
or
lot.
whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, there ain't much I can do about that because
You
I
got
just look like
sawdust
an
in your
idiot.
beard, bro.
What's that?
You know, they're like, you got sawdust in your beard.
And I'm
Thumbs
like,
down.
Yeah, I also have soap and water at home,
Yeah.
so I can wash it out.
I don't get freaked out about the thumbs down so long
I don't get
as-
freaked out about it, but that one just went exceptionally quickly.
Yeah.
And the only reason I really bring it up, it's not something I check, but my mom was over at my house yesterday.
Good. See this? I brought up this point. That turtle's on. I've brought up this point before about it's when family get involved that all of a sudden, like, the internet personalities are like, well, now I feel bad about it. Now my mom or my
Oh,
daughter or someone
yeah.
else basically goes like, what's wrong? Why don't they like you? And then you're like, no, it's the internet. And then you're like, yeah, but why don't they like me?
Yeah, but why not?
Yeah, my mom.
My mom likes me.
Yeah. So it somehow when the family gets involved, it's a lot harder than just going, internet things happening, we'll be doing, you know, that type of thing. There was no clickbait yesterday. We literally bored people to death with dehumidifier talk, and that was the whole plan.
Oh, was yesterday clickbait?
No.
I clickbaited today,
Today?
by saying
Today
it was
was,
the
but
last
yesterday
live
wasn't.
stream
Yeah.
of 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you had to tune in for me to go, of 2017.
That's actually the only reason I tune in is for voices. I
Right.
can't actually stand to see you physically or visually.
Well, that's smart.
So that's why I actually got YouTube Red so that I could just listen and not have to have the video on because it was dang near unbearable.
It's pretty unbearable. Luckily, I get to look out.
Yeah.
You know, I get
Even
to look
right
out
now,
from
it's a
in here.
struggle because most times I just keep my eyes closed when we're not live like this.
Right.
I try to, yeah. It's a real struggle though.
He starts making bat sounds
Yeah.
as he's echolocating around the room. Yeah.
I listened to that NPR article about humans that can do the echolocation.
They can do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy that
It's
can
one
do
of the
that.
best things ever. He's training kids.
seen him-
I actually enjoyed that one.
You seen
quite
him
a bit.
ride a bicycle? He's riding a bicycle.
I haven't seen it. I've only
while
heard
doing
it because it was on NPR. But I was super fascinated.
That sounds like you should have watched it.
Well, sure. Except you can't watch the radio while you're driving.
Well, maybe NPR should get their garbage together and
Hologram it onto my screen.
figure it out.
Fully entertained while I'm in the left lane.
Figure it out. So I got yellow and I got white. Which one's what? That's pretty good. Okay. I couldn't resist, guys. I made
Yeah,
it 43 minutes.
I didn't even pretend to make it 43. I'm just like, Jimmy, you brought a giant thing of those, and none of those made it over to here. How'd that
I
happen?
tried. I
Yeah.
tried, man. Oleg Restov. What's up, my man? Was asking, hi, Joel, have you ever had planaria in my shrimp tanks? Yes, as a matter of fact, it does happen from time to time.
Faux
More
show.
often than not, the one that I end up with is the Hydra. I don't know why that is. I couldn't
Yeah, that
tell
seems
you.
odd.
I couldn't tell you specifically why that's my luck. I don't normally end up with the flatworms varietals for just whatever reason.
Planarians.
I could sit here and surmise like, well, you know, my is, you know, but
that
those
would
are
just be
typically
a-
the ones that that I end up with. Luckily, they're pretty easy to get rid of, and normally I don't worry about them too much. The flat wormy little ones, I've gotten them from once in a while, like once in a very, very, very big blue moon or whatever. But they're pretty easy to get out with a little water change. Just make sure that you know, I do a little water change and then kind of dial back my feeding and stuff like that. So it's just typically a sign of overfeeding. And I'm not a person that goes, they're going to eat all my shrimp or anything like that. They're just,
I've
you know.
had thriving colonies with also thriving colonies of planaria.
right.
I'm not gonna say they've never taken a shrimp down or something. Not that I've ever seen that, but I try not to min-max my aquariums where it's like, but clearly they have to be using nutrients they could be using. Like, yeah, they could also be eating their poop, which is keeping their tank cleaner too. Like that could be happening. So
Jackie, JC Darling? Jackie Darling? I don't know.
Jackie
Do you have any experience with some filter media, specifically using it to naturally reduce high nitrates in a planted tank? I've been over this time and time again with filter medias. Honestly, I cannot tell you that there is one that is better than
No,
the
I
other.
can tell you the best one,
Which
without
one?
a doubt. The best filter media to remove nitrates in a planted tank is plants.
Well, it's plants, yeah. Yes.
Like, if we were going to discuss what the best media was to remove nitrates,
Right.
you would only want to discuss it in a non-planted tank.
Right.
Because the answer is always going to be just more plants or faster growing plants or whatever. So it'd be like, I've got a giant cichlid that tore my face off and now it polluted the tank. How do I reduce those nitrates? Then denitrifying bacteria and that kind of stuff makes some sense in that scenario.
Could really come into play. But I can honestly tell you, I do have some videos coming out with some filter media stuff coming up again as a follow up to my old CChem video where people have been freaking out at me for years about
This is why it's
know,
the last live stream.
like
I have to
air
separate
quote
ways from
air
him.
quote bad mouthing CChem or whatever, like their matrix, right? And I'm like, I'm not bad mouthing CChem. I like that company. I buy stuff from CChem almost every month of the year, whether it be Prime or Safe or Fosguard or sorry, Fosband.
How about, do you buy the bag from them?
No, I don't buy the bag from them.
The bag, the most overpriced bag on the planet?
Yeah, a nylon bag. Can I just make a nylon bag?
$15 Micron bag?
$15 for a bag with a zipper on it. I could literally
the
order.
zipper is plastic.
I could
It's not
literally.
metal.
I could literally order the other filter media that I use, the biological media that I use, the ceramic rings.
Yeah.
And they come with those bags.
But it's not the same micron rating. That's where they get you. And then I always ask the rep, I go, do people need that micron rating? Well, you know, some people. That's the response.
Who?
Is like,
Who?
well, I don't push it farther
Big
because
little baby Jesus.
you're just poking the guy that's like, I read the sheet. The sheet said answer with this.
right.
You know, so I mean, reps already hate me because I just call them on their shenanigans the minute they walk in, and then I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like I've used filters or I've used this product before. You can't tell me that's a feature. That was a mistake that you guys are trying to backpedal on. Oh no, and I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Right.
They're just used to walking into random store. The reality is reps are used to walking to stores and they walk into a full line pet store and they're just talking to someone and they might be the ferret specialist, but now they remember like, yeah, blah, blah, blah company said this filter was the best. And then they happen to be walking by the fish department and someone goes, excuse me, miss or sir, do you know anything about this filter? And they go, yeah, the rep told me it was the best one.
That's the best one.
Yeah.
Ever.
So
Of all
that's their
time.
normal interaction. So when you start going like I have reps coming like, we want you to sell this. I'm like, great, can I see one? I start tearing it apart. And like, what are you doing? I'm like, I want to see where this thing's gonna break when my customer goes, oh, what's this about? And then like the little clip snaps or something, be like, that right there, I can't sell this. I broke it the first time, and I'm a guy that was trying not to break it.
Right.
And my customer is gonna be like, yeah, I think it pops open and it's gonna snap into a billion pieces. And then I always ask, like, do you have that replacement part yet? And they're always like, well, replacement parts are on the way. You know, we're gonna offer that. And I'm like,
Right.
gonna offer, huh?
Yeah, we're going to
Gonna.
offer the replacement parts that will
So-
work better later.
Yeah. But no, I do love reps because they do bring products and knowledge. I just hate when companies hire reps that aren't from the aquatic industry. I run into it all the time. They're like, oh yeah, we got rid of Steve and now you've got Bob. Oh yeah, what did Bob do? He was the #1 boat motor specialist for 72 years running.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
what does he know about aquatics? His daughter has an aquarium. Oh, I can see he's really invested into this.
He has a boat motor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they are good salesmen, so usually they'll meet quotas and all that kind of stuff.
He's motorboating.
That's right. He's motorboating.
That old sailor.
Yeah. Oh, that dog. He's a little salty.
Yeah.
But, you know, they will meet the sales quotas, but if they're not a fish person, they just don't care. That's the problem, is they're like, yeah, I don't know, man. That's what the sheet says. Do you want some or don't you? I can give you this discount, you know, and it's like, no, I want you to care, and I want you to know enough to know when you need to come and go, Corey, this is actually the thing. Instead of every rep is like, we have a new product, let me go beat down your door, and let me tell you it's the best thing we've ever had, even though I just said that last month about the best thing we ever had. And next month, I'm going to tell you about the best thing we have now.
Right.
Like, I had a great Hikari rep that would never bother me, and then every once in a while, he'd actually come to me like, I actually think this is the product for you. And then I would hear all about it and be like, yeah, that actually, yes. Yes, I'm glad. Where previous reps would be like, no, Corey, you need to carry Hikari seaweed saltwater food. And I'd be like, really? Because I don't sell any saltwater. Yeah, but you might get some customers coming in that want that saltwater food. Wait, what about all the other saltwater foods I should carry? No, just this one, because this is the one my current bonus is on. So I'd like you to order this one. You know,
Right.
They don't have my best interest in mind. They don't have your best interest in mind. And so it's always refreshing when you get a rep that's like, yeah, you don't want any of this crap, man. How about, yeah, you buy these, these sell really well. This store is also selling this really well. Customers love this instead of my bonus is based on this
Right.
by a lot.
Right.
So, yeah. Can't stand it. Can't stand it.
Can't take it anymore.
Can't stop. Won't stop. Won't take it.
Can't stop, won't stop, can't stop, won't stop. All right, Montresor with the $5 super chat asking, can you please explain planaria? I thought they were harmless and basically food for food. Food for the fishes that eat them.
Mostly a true statement.
Yeah, they're essentially harmless. They're just like a detritus feeding little organism. They're not really. I mean, that would be the easiest way to explain it.
The hubbub comes from when you're keeping low level feeders, so like shrimp, snails, planarians, maybe scuds, like some of those really bottom level feeders, because a fish just goes, hey, look, there's a goby trying to take my parking spot, and runs it over and eats it. And then like a shrimp does that, and it's like, hey, that thing's in my parking spot. Oh, geez, we crashed. Like, that's not good, you know?
Yeah.
And then there might be a thing like a copepod where it's like, oh, no, there's a monster truck in my parking spot. I guess I have to leave, and they just die. So it's only on that super low level where they really got to compete that I think it's a problem. And you can make a case that if you have 40 billion planaria and you only have enough food to feed 12 shrimp and you have 12 shrimp and those planaria eat 6 shrimp worth of food, we're now going to starve out the planaria and that type of, or we're going to starve out the shrimp and that type of stuff. But in normal fish tanks with community fish, it's usually not too big of a problem. And in like Oscar tanks or really big predators, it's a problem because it's like, hey, that planaria took my parking spot. Meanwhile, they're a jumbo jet. You know, like they're literally
Right.
like, we don't even use the same parking lot, so it doesn't matter. Like, no one's in my airplane parking stall, my hangar. So I think it gets blown out. Mostly, I think people go, oh my God, it's gross. I got worms. I didn't have them before. I'm super scared. And then
Right.
someone on the internet goes, you should be super scared. Get rid of them. I once knew a guy that had a problem with those.
Right.
And then you just start going, oh God, get the flubendazole and all the things. Get them in there. Get those things out. Oh my
Right.
God. And the reality is,
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes people are using the flubendazole, like the canine dewormer,
Yeah.
and I think it's a big. I think it's a big waste of time. Like the last thing I want to do is have another chemical around that I don't need,
Right.
And also I don't want to throw chemicals in my tank that may or may not be. Let's say quality control may or may not be a big issue.
I'm just a fan
Right.
of the least amount of things going into a tank, the better.
Yeah. And so it's like, for me, like I said earlier, I just, and chances are every single aquarium in the world probably has them in it. You just probably just don't notice them when the small population is like under control. So it really isn't that big of a deal. And I know that, you know, I just lower my feeding, do a little water change, that kind of stuff, just clean up the tank a little bit. And that will be not a big deal. Jeff H. was asking, why do I always miss your stream while the stream is on? I don't know, Jeff. Why do you always miss it?
I think it's because Nacho Bar opens up at 4 p.m.
today.
What?
What?
No nachos? Someone was asking, is planaria from overfeeding? Yes, kind of. Here's my thoughts. I kind of think
Detritus.
most aquariums probably have some planaria. Like, let's say you're like, oh man, yeah, my 40-gallon tank's got 2 worms. When you overfeed, there's excess food, and planaria is like, yeah, it's time to make more. Mm-hmm. And that just happens. I think it happens most often in shrimp tanks because the shrimp hobby in itself has made $1 billion going, yeah, you need 72 different types of food for each type of shrimp for each time of day. You know, and I think a lot of overfeeding goes on in shrimp tanks, and I think that's why planaria is so often there. But the other one is in like an Oscar tank or something where it, you know, just drops a bomb, goes to the bathroom, and then like nothing's breaking that down. So planaria's like, cool, I'm on it. And then they go, hey, I'm going to make some more of these, buddies. We're going to be on it even more because your Oscar's getting bigger, you're feeding more, and we don't have the proper crew because maybe the Oscar's like, well, I don't let stuff live down there, but that planarian's so small, I didn't even know it was a thing.
Right.
So, yeah. That's all I got on planariids.
Yep. Scotty Diaz is asking, my female sword tail is starting to grow a sword. What's going on, and why does my only male sword tail dying a couple of weeks ago have anything to do with it?
Yes, kind of. So the research shows, well, first, swordtails are typically late bloomers, turning into males. Or, yeah, they take a long time to sex out. But we used to think, and this might be like 20, 25 years ago, we used to think that swordtails could actually sex change.
Right.
Because we just didn't have nearly the technology we have now. Now what we know is they were always male, but life is easier if they don't present as male. So they don't have the gonopodium and things like that. And then another male just goes, cool, you're kind of a girl. I guess we're not getting it on and making babies, but I don't need to kill you.
Yeah.
And then your male died, and that one was like, oh, sweet, time for me to be the male because I got to fertilize the females. That's now my job.
Yep.
And so that's why when you're breeding them in mass scale in ponds and stuff, you need to go through and pull out all the big males if you want to make more males, because at a store, males are what sells. So you can end up where you're like, I own 700 swordtails. I have 3 males and 697 females somehow, even though if you did the work, you're going to be like, oh, actually, it's like 50-50.
Right.
And stores, we also want them
you just have underdeveloped males.
Yeah, we want them to be sexed out because nothing's more annoying than like you sell someone a trio, a male and 2 females, and then 3 months later it's 3 males, and then you're getting bad Yelp reviews because like they lied to me, they sold me 3 males, they did all these horrible things to me, and you're like, no, dang it, it's evolution or something. I don't know. It's not my fault. And then you try and, offer them a swap, and then those ones turn to males, and you're like, oh, geez, now I do look like a pathological liar. But yeah, so as our skills increase as humans to research them, we are learning more and more and more. That also was the same case with the one-sided livebearer, what is it? It's like J. Linicea? I can't remember the scientific name. I read it and then I say it. But it was the one-sided livebearer, and for a long, long, long time they thought you had to pair right males with left females because their gonopodium would only go one way. And after long enough studies, they actually figured out they just have a very strong preference, but they can breed both ways. So it's a weird thing they've got going on, but it's not a fact anymore. It's just a strong preference.
Oh, cool.
And so, but the thing is, like, there's like some lab probably spent like, yeah, we documented it for 1.5 years, and then like no one gained money or really gained anything, but now there's a paper that exists on crazy breeding behavior.
Yeah, that exists now.
Maybe in 23 years they're gonna be like, yeah, we noticed that in garbage pandas too.
Right.
And then maybe it develops the whole thing. But that's just someone going, that's weird, I'm gonna study it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the outcome of something weird. It does nothing currently, but maybe it compounds later.
Kevin Keener's got a good point. 200 watching and only 70 likes. I'm confused.
Oh, yeah, and he says the super chat button's broken. It's not working for him.
What happened to the super chat button?
Weird.
It's broken?
I guess so.
Weird.
Maybe the like button's broken.
But Jay's Aquatics is actually asking a question here that I want to answer right before we get to the end of the year here, because we've only got 2 minutes left, you guys.
2 minutes.
That's going to be it. 2 minutes. It's the last little bit. Unless somebody maxes out the super chat button, I think I could convince Corey to stay on for a little while longer. But
yes.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's a yes from Corey. But
if they max it out,
right.
If they were to max out the super chat button,
because we
would
know
be worth it.
We know because one of the things that happened in 2017 is Corey figured out how to do that.
Yes.
Yeah. But the Jay's Aquatics was asking here, how come the live streams that I do with Corey aren't on the podcast? I know that this has been a little bit confusing for some people. So my channel is my channel. This is it. Corvus Oshin here, Oskin, which you guys are on right now on the live stream. This is my channel that I've personally been, with air quotes, operating. I don't know. I've been doing stuff on this channel for a long time. Occupying this space. I've been occupying this zone and doing
even while
what
you
I'm
weren't
doing.
active, still occupying it.
Right.
You're still camped out.
Just occupying the space, camped out, waiting with my sniper rifle to pick somebody off at some point in time. But so this is my channel, and then the Aquarium Co-op is Corey's channel, right?
Yes.
That's where he's doing his short videos, like his educational videos. He's also doing some live streaming there to talk with his 103,528 fans, right? That he's got stuff going there. That's where the more educational stuff is. The Real Fish Talk is,
We found out,
I guess,
us doing this worked out well.
A lack of a way to put it. What?
We found out this, when I went to your house, went really well, and we were like,
Right.
we should do more.
We should do more
and
of
that's
that.
how that spawned.
Right. Then we were like, we should probably do more of these shows. It was like, you came down there, I came up here. Man, we should probably do more of these shows because we enjoy doing it. We enjoy engaging with you guys and being like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? What are we doing here? We feel like it is a good use of our time, right, to be able to show up and instead of just going like, you need to fix your toilet, blah, 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 put the flange here, blah, 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 see you later, you know. We both feel like this is a more interactive way to be involved with the community and the people around. So
We're here to entertain.
this is where we're putting our effort. This is where we're putting our energy in here to be able to have conversations with you guys instead of it just being a one-way street. And that's where the Real Fish Talk comes in. So we're putting in all of our blood, sweat, and tears. Well, not all of our blood, sweat, and tears, but a lot of blood, sweat, and tears
your
right
bee
now.
did get cut today.
What's that?
Your bee did get cut today.
That's
so you
true.
are putting in blood.
Bleeding.
Yeah.
Sweating and crying. But the Real Fish Talk is where you would want to be at, and that's the stuff that's going to be going up onto the podcast and things. I also wanted to get a few things out because the people that actually stayed here till the end are probably true and blue fans of whatever and want to get a little bit of information about what is coming up in 2018. There will be more live streams. Not necessarily like
At least one more.
not quantitative, right? So there won't be like 6 a week or 10 a week or whatever or anything along those lines. But you can look forward to the Real Fish Talk being a 2-hour program, right? I think we've kind of settled on that.
I think we cemented on that. We can get definitely weirder and wackier in the 2 hour than we can in the 1 hour.
Right. And so we're putting a lot of production into that, and we're also going to be I'm going to be driving back and forth on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes.
So it's probably going to be meaning a little bit of changes here on my channel with the format of what's going on. But overall, it's going to be more content for you guys, more interactive for you guys, and better quality as we keep going forward. Putting our energy and effort and time and money and all that kind of stuff. And as Mellow Moogle's saying, more videos and things like that. Yes, there will
Definitely
be
more hours. I don't know if it'll be more videos. There'll be more content for sure.
I am sure that I'll be doing more videos personally.
Okay.
Right. So I don't want to like spoil it,
Right.
spoiler alert, and then somebody go like, you said you were going to make Blue Steel videos or what, So Glass Boxes says I should get a scooter for the mad Seattle traffic. I guarantee you the last thing I want to drive, around in the Seattle traffic is a scooter.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons today, traffic was a delight until I got to the Seattle. And if you've ever driven through I-5 in Seattle, it does this. It goes like whoop, whoop, whoop. There's exits on the left. There's exits on the right. It splits into two. It goes up and down. And then all of a sudden there's people merging again. And then there's an exit over here for only the HOV lanes. And then an exit here for this and that. And loop-de-loops and things going around. And it was Crash City up in there today because... I don't know, a semi and a bunch of vans and a bunch of other cars were all like piled up all over the place with State Patrol and Fire Department and all this stuff.
Hanging out.
So it was like I drove up to Seattle and I kind of like got in the view of Seattle and was like, oh, everybody's slowing down. Okay, maybe there's geese in the road or something, and then it was like boop 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 boop.
And then you heard the
boop, boop,
bum,
boop.
bum, ba, bum.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whammy. Whammy.
That's why we're doing the patron for a helicopter.
That's right. So we don't want a scooter. We want helicopter
Yeah,
ride.
we're
And as a
going
matter
to
of fact,
helicopter.
Victoria was texting me today. She said she got a new picture for our vision board.
Do you have a vision board?
We do. We have
Is
a
it
brand
like
new
secret and no one can see it?
one. We got
or-
brand new vision boards. We're putting them up.
All right.
We're going to have those up there for Vicky for 2018 so she can
Visualize.
give it the eye of the tiger
Yeah.
and go, I'm visualizing.
All right.
I'm visualizing it. But I told her to put on mine
A 1DX
And-
Mark II.
a helicopter commute. Yes,
All right.
yes, a 1DX
Mark II.
Mark II.
Yeah.
Yes, I said put that on there.
Yeah.
But then I said put that picture on there of the 1DX Mark II, right? But then I said put the 6D Mark II over top of it because that's realistic. I'm probably gonna sell a bunch of stuff so I can try and get that camera.
Dang.
And we'll see what I can do. We'll see if I can pull it off. It seems like the 6D Mark II is pretty much the camera that I would like to shoot with. Out of all of the stuff, like obviously the 1DX is like, whoa, that camera is awesome, but it looks like the 6D Mark II is, it's the 6D that's upgraded from the Mark 1, so they kind of fixed all of the stuff, and it is a full frame, which I would love to. I need to move over to full frame so I can start shooting bigger videos. Essentially, just like, bigger framed videos. You know what I mean? So I can do stuff like that.
It
and-
translates to more stuff will be on your screen. I know it
Basically.
doesn't seem like I don't get it because if you're not a camera guy like I wasn't, you won't understand. But more stuff will be on the screen. So even though you're going nothing changed, realize that maybe 20% of what you're seeing in the video, like right now, you might have only seen like right around Joel's head if in a different non-wide angle thing. But then in a full frame, you're like, wait, I can see all the walls around the aquarium and all that extra stuff. And it
Right.
makes it a lot better for filming because then you can pan the camera around, zoom in, you can focus on parts. You can, when you're trying to shoot a fish, you don't have to keep it in this small box. All of a sudden you can keep it in this. And then when you're editing, go, okay, yeah, we only need this much, and it was super easy to track the fish now.
Right.
That all those kind of benefits that on your guys' end, it'll look like, yeah, it's the same way it always was, but on the making of it end, it'll be like, wow, that cut production time by 20%. That's rad.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So let's get him a new camera. 2018.
Nick
we'll
K.
get you that
Nick K.
camera.
was saying I would need to learn to pilot the chopper. But here's my thought process. Because Vicky goes, well, wouldn't you rather have an electric chopper, like
Is that a thing?
helicopter? They do have electric ones, but their range is not
Okay.
that far and stuff like that.
I think those are called drones.
Well, no, they're yeah.
Just messing with you.
No, but I'm saying I want a drone that is like that it could fly me.
Oh, sure.
That's basically what I want.
You want the Casey Neistat from last year's video? Like
No,
where-
that is not good enough. That is not good enough. I'm not hanging from a ski rope for 60 miles
Oh,
under a freaking
I didn't
drone.
realize you had such standards.
No, I'm just saying that we need the bigger drone that we could just put in the GPS of where it's supposed to fly to, right? And then you just hop in, and then you're like, and then it starts going, and then you just fly where you need to go, and it just flies you there.
All right.
Right? That's what I need. I need that thing. I don't need to go all Bill Burr and actually learn how to be
Yeah.
a pilot. It would take me a while. Well,
How much is that?
it would cost me a lot of money. We went on that flight
Yeah,
course, and we kind of looked at like how much it was going to cost, and I would realistically how much it would cost would mean I could be able to buy a 6D and a 1DX
yeah.
Mark II, and not have a pilot's license.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it was kind of like, well, I need those cameras, and maybe just somebody else that's a pilot could fly me around.
Maybe those cameras will allow you to make the money to get flown.
Maybe.
Who knows? That's the hope.
That's a good point.
2018, year of the drone.
2018, the year of the drone dragon. Oh, we got 3 new patronizers today, so I'm going to shout
Nice.
out these guys real quick. Jessica Short, Chris Galano, and Lisa Camilleri. Lisa Camilleri with the 123 Patreon. $1.23. I like that.
Nice.
It's sort of like Barbara Jackson's pie. She
Yeah.
she did pie and then added an extra one to it,
Baller.
which is cool because it's like $31 a month. I'm like $1 a day. That's badass.
Yeah.
It's like whoa.
That's worth getting out of bed in the morning.
That's worth getting out of bed in the
Yeah.
morning. If I can get Barbara Jackson a little entertainment, a little laughs, a little giggles, a little smile on your face, something to listen to while you're, I don't know. A lot of people said that they listen to this kind of stuff commuting, or like when they're bored at work.
I put it
or
on in background when we're doing work.
when they're lawn mowing, or, whatever. Me, it's when I'm making dinner. That's how
My
I
wife
roll.
does that a lot, yeah.
That's how I roll. Or sitting in traffic. I mean,
Yeah. Now, if you could just make dinner while you're sitting in traffic, you'd be on something.
Right.
Yeah.
And as Candy Overhaul said, thank you to the new patrons and us old Patreons.
Indeed.
I want to say thank you very much, you guys. 2017 has been fantastic. I never thought we'd get even to this
We were on the
point.
cusp. We were on the
I know that,
90-day review.
Daniel Squires the other day commented on one of my older videos, like from like 2 years ago, where I was like, I don't think I can keep doing this YouTube thing, and I looked just so depressed because it was just like I looked all super depressed, and his comment was like, "I'm glad you're healthy now. It's pretty awesome."
Yeah.
It's like thanks, dude. But a big part of that is the support from you guys, making it worthwhile to actually like show up and do it. I have to admit, it is very discouraging to put in like 30 hours of work into like a video, and then it gets like 100 views or something, and demonetized, and YouTube tells you you're stupid, and then you're like, oh man.
They say
I'm
you're
an
bad,
idiot.
you should feel bad, and
So,
then your mom says, why are they saying you should feel bad? And you're like, I do feel bad.
Now my mom says I feel
Yeah.
bad. Now my mom feels bad, and everyone else
What's
feels
wrong,
bad.
honey?
So
No.
yeah. All right, guys. Hopefully everybody has a fantastic New Year. Stay safe out there. Don't get totally crazy and light off fireworks. Let's just take a hiatus on the fireworks until we get into 2018. Let's do that.
Words to live by.
Right? And we do that. We also drive super safe. If you guys are going to be out there partying, unlike Corey and I, who will be like eating chocolates and watching videos
Yes.
or taking naps, I'm probably going to be
stay
asleep.
in the right-hand lane.
Oh, no. That's what I'm doing for the New Year's. We're going to the,
Thunderdome.
who I would like to call the future mother-in-law's house.
I see.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll be over there having some good times, playing some board games and stuff like that,
Nice.
visiting them. Then we get up early on Monday, you and I, and Jimmy, and Vicky, and Katie, the Dorkula,
And Carly.
and Carly too. We're all going up to the mountains. We're gonna kick some snow around, maybe fight off an abominable snowman,
If
maybe
we're lucky.
pet Sasquatch a couple of times. Hey, buddy.
Yep.
He's a cool buddy. As long as you bring him in with gummy bears, so come in and be your friend and not bite your face off or anything like
Yep.
that. So thank you, everybody. I can't name everybody out there, but thank you very much for fantastic 2017, including Jimmy. That's Corey. Have a fantastic night out there, all right? Later.